Welcome to the Education Scotland podcast. In every episode, we are joined by teachers, professionals and experts to unpack some of the big questions and topics facing the education sector in Scotland. Stay informed with the latest on education in Scotland by subscribing to our podcast.
Hello and welcome to another Education Scotland podcast where we will be looking at initial teacher education pilot programme with some students today from the Royal Conservatoire. So my name's Susan Doherty, I work in the Parents and Families team, and today we have...
Hi, I'm David.
And hello, I'm Katie.
So welcome both of you to this podcast, and thank you so much for coming along, and thank you for being part of the pilot programme. So I'm just going to ask you a few questions and then we'll get into a wee conversation about how you find the pilot programme itself. So I guess the first thing I'm going to ask is, how did you hear about the opportunity to have the placement within North Lanarkshire's Family Learning team? And why did you want to be part of it? So I'll start with you, Katie.
So it was very impromptu. We entered a lecture with our lecturer, Nicola Ewan, who you will be hearing from very shortly. And she basically said to us, there has been an opportunity that has came up for the pair of you, being me and David, to see how this the pilot project works, how they work with families. And I think for me it was bridging the gap between what we see when we're in schools as student teachers, but also how that can affect the parents as well. Mm-hmm. So it was a really, really fun experience, and it was so good to see how, what happens with the parents, how they, the groups and things that they can take part in, whether that be for their mental health and well-being. It could just be to get out and about. It was really, really...
So you were eager to be part of it. So once the opportunity came up, it was like, yeah, that's for me.
Yeah, definitely.
And same for you, David?
Yeah, I just remember going into a lecture and Nicola was to the both of us, because we both took, we were the only people that took primary education for our modules. So we're already planning to go out to a primary school in Kilmarnock, and we went into lecture and Nicola was like, the most fantastic opportunities coming up, and she was selling it to us, and like we couldn't say no after how Nicola described it. And then we had a meeting. Someone came out and spoke to us and explained what happens, what goes on, and because we're both music students, they're like, "Oh, we have a ukulele group." I'm like, "Oh, we need to go and see that now."
Right, okay.
We were just talking about the songs that we could play at it, and both of us play guitar, so like, bring your guitars along, we'll have a great sing-song. And we did go along to the ukulele group, and we played along, and it was fantastic.
And probably the person that you spoke to was Louise McLean. Yes. So Louise came out and just told you a wee bit about the Family Learning team, about how they engage with parents and families and some of the programmes that they already run, and you were just like, yeah, this sounds like something I can do. And just a wee kind of side note, so obviously the Conservatoire is for you musical people, so do you specialise in any of the musical instruments or...
Yeah, so as part of the course you get to specialise in one instrument. So I am a first study singer. I do a lot of a classical voice.
Wow.
I've done some musical theatre, we've done some Scots songs, so you do quite a lot of it. And David is
I'm a first study bagpipe player.
Wow, okay, so that's, you must have some lung capacity.
Yeah.
And to be honest, that's a musical instrument you can take anywhere, which is obviously the voice. But bagpipes is that kind of traditional
traditional
music.
Highland
It makes
bagpipes.
you cry.
Oh yeah,
You hear it at weddings, you hear it at funerals, you hear it. like I love hearing it at New Year. It's just phenomenal. So yeah,
best
you'll be in
instrument.
demand. You'll make a wee side hustle with weddings and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure. Okay, so that was a wee sidetrack. But yeah, so Louise came out and spoke to you, and you were like, yeah, this sounds like something we would like to learn a wee bit more about.
She was just incredible from the minute she came into to see us. It was just, she's so passionate.
She is.
About her job, and she's just incredible. She was so helpful, so lovely, so flexible as well, which was so beneficial for me, obviously, travelling quite a bit, but it was fab.
Yeah,
it was fab.
Yeah, they are very welcoming, and they run a tight ship, you know, because obviously, given the parents and families they have to engage with, they have to be, you know, very responsive to needs.
Absolutely.
And we'll go on and talk a wee bit about that in a wee second. So I guess just to kind of frame the engagement before he's actually arrived, what were your expectations? You know, obviously you had the conversation with Louise, and you'd spoken to Nicola as well, but talk me through what you thought was going to happen before you arrived in North Lanarkshire to engage in the programmes, and then, you know, did that change, I guess? So this time we'll start with David.
Yeah. I don't know, just the way Louise kind of explained everything to us in the meeting, we had kind of a good idea of what we were going to go and see. And then even when we went in January, the first day we went to the hub where they all work from, and even then we had more people sitting down with us and explaining their role, what they're doing and what we might see, and the stuff they'd done before Christmas, and then the stuff that they're starting up, just because it was straight after the Christmas break, so still people coming back from annual leave. Things were just kind of up and running, and they were telling us what was happening like 2 weeks time, and there was some great stuff like happening that I wish we got to see. There was like yoga and dance, and yeah, I think going in not knowing what to expect, like having just a little bit of knowledge and then fully seeing it, really did change how we saw it.
And did you have any kind of perceptions of parents and families themselves, given, you know, your placement potentially had been more kind of child focused, and now there was that kind of expansion into, you know, those types of conversations you might have with parents and families? Did that kind of change? But did it break down any anxiety, or did it build your confidence in that area?
I think it was good to know that we were going to be working with parents, because as you said, like, we mostly work with students in high school. Like, we've had a little bit of experience with primary school kids, and especially doing the primary school module, so it was good to kind of get some experience from that. But when we found out we might be working with parents, we kind of had a discussion saying, how can we go about this? And we spoke with Louise at the time as well, and she explained it perfectly, as we said, like, just amazing what she was doing. So it was great to have that knowledge going in, and it wasn't just blindsided, like you went into a room going, oh, it's not children, it's parents. You're like, hold on. But no, it was great. They gave us heads up. They told us some things that we could expect, and just for heads up, just in case, so we could have that kind of thought of what we're going into. But we had a great idea, thanks to Louise, just explaining everything.
No, that's good. That's good. And what about yourself, Katie?
My expectations were very similar to David's, but I think, again, just to go back to that idea of bridging the gap between the parents and their children. But we did have the meeting with Louise and her team beforehand, and they did set the scene for us really, really well. And, you know, we had some examples of the groups that we could go and see, some examples of some of the parents that we might be working with. But again, I think it was just because we had went in January, it was taking some of the groups a wee while to re-establish themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So if we were to go back again, it would be good to see the groups maybe in February or March, or even towards the summer, because when we did go to the groups, there was maybe only 2 parents, 3 parents.
Right.
So we weren't getting a full sense of what it was actually about. But the groups that we did see was incredible.
Yeah, the stories that we heard from them, before Christmas,
brilliant.
Go back to the ukulele group. They said they had like 6 before Christmas, and they were going out with the Christmas songs and everything, like having just a great sing song.
We were so excited to go along, and it was just, but there was 1 parent, so it was still so fun to sit and
gab
and chat and play some songs, and
and that's good. That's really good feedback for us, because we have had students go out at different times from you, where there has been that kind of fuller experience, so that's really good feedback for us to then say to universities moving forward. So you might want to think about, the timing of this, and maybe more towards, I think the summer is probably a good time as well, because there's, a lot more outdoor and family learning as well.
We went on the walking group with Polly.
Yes.
Polly, I want to say. And it was really, really good. There was 4 parents.
3, I think.
3 parents, which was really, really good, just to get out and see the wonderful, deep, dark depths of
Wishaw.
which was lovely. It was really, really good. But again, I think it would be fab to go even April time, May time, to see what actually happens in the groups.
Yes, yes.
Rather than just have the 1 parent that we can spend some time with.
That's excellent feedback for us. Thank you for that. So you talked about, when you were going to the ukulele group or the walking group. So what were and also just talking to the staff, right? Because the staff are going to tell you about their experiences of engaging parents and families, and some of our most, kind of diverse demographics. So what were the kind of key learning experiences you think you've taken from that?
I think it's, especially with the walking group, so they had a weekly journal portfolio type thing that the parents would fill out, and I think that is incredible, because they were also getting some SQA qualifications out of it as well. So not only are they may be coming to the group for whatever reason, but they're also getting a qualification out of it as well. So they are developing their life skills. They are getting out and about if they're struggling with their mental health and well-being, which quite a few of them were. So just to experience that and to be an outsider, quote unquote, but also offering the support as well. It was such a good experience. just thinking about it and reflecting, but in terms of the key learning, it was how much of an impact these groups actually have on parents and families.
And you must have created such a deep relationship in such a short period of time with them, for them to even divulge that they had these kind of mental health issues or issues with their own learning, and where they were looking to gain other qualifications to then
with the walking group, it was great. We just done laps around this park, and we just got chatting to the parents who were there. And we got speaking, and we brought up that we were music students, and one of the parents was talking about how they played the bassoon, and that just opened a can of worms. I think we spoke about music for about 2 laps, and it was just great. It's just being out in the open air and just having a normal conversation. You forget that you've done like 7 laps down a park in the pouring rain.
Right. I mean, we are waterproof, I guess.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
But no, that sounds amazing. So in terms of, for you, David, your kind of, what do you feel you kind of gained in terms of your learning experiences from?
I think it's to take everything from the experience that we got is just so great for student teachers to take into placement and even into the teaching career. As a student teacher, some schools, you might have some pupils who have additional support needs, and we were speaking with some of the parents at the walking group who also have pupils with children with additional support needs, and it was great for them to tell us like their experience and the best techniques for their children, and it's kind of to think about how can I take that into the teaching, because every child is not the same, and we all know that. So it's always great to have a think about how to work with the pupil, what's going to work best, and yeah, it's just great to see like what goes on behind the scene. You see the classroom, you don't see them leave. It's kind of really the pastoral care teachers that they get to know all about the family situation, and it's good to know in the back of your mind that the pupils aren't just there in your class, like they have a life outside.
Yeah, and I think that's you touched on a really, really important point there about, you know, what this pilot's hopefully trying to achieve is to give you an understanding of the parent's perspective and also how the parent can be an ally. So you're learning such a lot from the parent to say, yeah, so my child has additional, here's my strategies at home, and you're kind of sharing those strategies, aren't you? So you could maybe as a teacher say, well, here's what we think would be good at home, and when you build that relationship, parents are more receptive to that kind of advice and guidance, aren't they?
Oh yeah, definitely. As you said, like just sharing the ideas just to make the child's life in school and outside so much more inclusive for them. That's the most important thing. So
is there anything else you think that by being part of this you will take forward into your course and maybe your teaching career?
I think it was really good for us to share what we done with our peers in uni. Because we were the only two people doing it in our year, it was great for us to go in and tell them what was going on, what family learning was, because none of them had really heard about it. Right. So, it just be...
She was the champions.
Oh yeah, of course.
In our team.
Especially when we had teacher education lessons. Our lecturer was explaining what we were doing, and then that just opened the can of worms again, just everyone asking what we've done, what is it, what is family learning.
And how did they react when you were talking about the experiences you had, which I'm sure were probably different from your peers? Like what was their reactions?
I think because most of them haven't really heard of the family learning before, they were very like, oh, is this an actual thing? And I think we were obviously sharing our experiences, and again they were like, oh, that's actually so fascinating, and then they were actually asking us questions, so like how can you take that into placement, like how is that making the connection between you as a teacher, the students that you're teaching, and also their parents as well. But again, they were just so...
They were like, is that
an actual thing?
Yeah.
It sounds like a unicorn. Like, what?
Is that an actual thing? Yes, it is an actual thing.
Yes, as are unicorns.
Absolutely. Listen, we don't know.
That's true. No, that's amazing. I love that. I love that they then were so inquisitive. So in terms of the programs themselves and that partnership, right? So you were engaging with a partner agency. So do you think that's something you might take into your teaching career, where, you know, if you see a parent and a child that maybe would benefit from something like this, you'd be like, yeah, well, actually, let me just see if there's family learning programs running.
Definitely.
If I was to be in a placement in North Lanarkshire, I would be 100% telling them, because what we seen there it's just a fantastic kind of pathway for parents to take. The opportunities they provide, the help, the support, it's just brilliant. Like I never heard of it before, but if I was to be in a position, or if I knew anyone in that position, I would know straight away to tell them to go and see this, because it's just fantastic what they offer.
And so obviously for the pilot we're just focusing on one local authority, but for Glasgow, obviously you live in Glasgow, there is a big family learning team in Glasgow, so there are family learning teams all across the country, obviously the Ayrshires as well. So do you think that's I don't know where you are going to do your teaching.
Yeah, I know.
Listen, neither do we.
I know, it'd be so good for teachers to know, like, fully know about it, because I don't know how many teachers know about the family learning plan and all the authorities, and if they knew about it, do they know how to like access it? Yeah. Because if they did, it would be so beneficial for many people.
So not only a champion in your course, you're going to be a champion in your local authority.
Yes.
We'll try.
And I'm here if you need me. You have my email address now. Okay, well, I guess, was there anything else you would like to say to the listeners? So, for instance, if there's a student teacher that's listening to the podcast right now, what advice or guidance would you give to them in terms of, engaging with family learning, the benefit? Do you think it's beneficial? Do you think they should do it? What would be your advice to
take every opportunity that you can get? I think for the minute you apply to be a teacher, or any course for that matter, say it's a 3-year course or a 4-year course, it sounds like a 10-year course, but you don't get that much time to explore, whether that be on your placements, or working with your lecturers at university, or working in your local authority, or anything like that. But just, again, take every opportunity that you can, because if we weren't like so what's the word, engaged with what Nicola had to say, as well as Louise, I don't think that we would have this string to our bow, which is, it's been absolutely incredible. And that could be any opportunity. It doesn't need to be focused on a certain topic within our education. It could be music, it could be English, maths, art, science, anything. Just take it. Take it.
What about you, David?
I would just say, don't hold back on any question. When we went to the hub, and we just get talking to everyone, like everyone was so great to talk to. Just the advice that they gave us, and they were even help and support that they gave us. They were saying, if you need anything, like, don't be afraid to get in contact. And it's so true, like, they were just so helpful with it, and they just wanted to give us the best experience. And I'd say, if anyone was to go for the experience, don't be shy. They're going to be the same with you as they were to us, just opening, so kind and helpful. And just take on Katie's, just take everything on board, just go for it, give it a try. You probably won't get an experience like it, and it's so good to have that knowledge going into a school, knowing that, and if there's any kind of opportunities that arise in the school, you've got that experience and you can kind of talk about it and explain it. So
I guess the last question, just to round off, would be, would you do it again?
Yes.
100%, yeah.
Well, thank you very much for coming in and talking to us today. That was amazing.
Thank you.
I wish you all the best in your future endeavours, and I'm pretty sure we'll probably come across each other again.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you to everyone for listening today. That's the end of this podcast.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. Don't forget to subscribe for notification of when a new episode is published. If there is a topic you would like to hear featured on this podcast, get in touch with us. We'd love to hear from you. Follow us on our social media channels for all the latest news from Education Scotland. Education Scotland is a Scottish Government executive agency charged with supporting quality and improvement in Scottish education.